Good morning. I apologize in advance for any internet problems I might experience. This is my last Saturday as a 50-year-old. Boop, 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 boop. And it's my first Saturday as a renter in Bogota, Colombia. My first Saturday with a home in Bogota. And so I thought I would talk to you about moving at 50, right? Moving to a new country at 50. Some things that I think are different compared to what it would have been like if I had moved at a different age, right? Moved at a different time in my life. Okay, let's talk about those things. Also, for those of you who are new here, we can talk about why I'm moving in the first place, why I don't live in the United States in the first place. Let's talk about all those things. As you can tell, I'm not quite ready, but I'm going to get ready, be ready. Okay, we're going to be ready together. Hello. My name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School. I'm the co-creator of ExodUS Summit. On this channel, we talk about Black women bopping around the world as a nomad, which I did for 9 3/4 years. We talk about moving abroad, which I'm doing right now. We talk about career breaks and sabbaticals, which I have done and maybe am still on if you want to be technical about it, since for also 9 3/4 years. And we do all of these things while embracing ease. Okay. We're not into the struggle. We're not into doing things the hard way. We're trying to find a way to do everything the easiest possible way for ourselves. If you're into that too, please hit subscribe. I'm gonna find my glasses and put them on while you do that. I'm supposed to be working on using my progressive lenses. I'm 50, almost 51. Okay, thanks for hitting the subscribe button. Make sure that you also turn on notifications, ring the notification bell. You'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live with my friends. Hi, friends. Good morning, Empress Wanderlust. Hello, Camille. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Daphne and M. Hey, Coffee Spills the Tea. Good morning, Cat Rebloom Room. Good morning, Nurse T. Marie. Hi. Hey, Ladybug. Hey, Erica De Niro TV. Hey, Mari. Hey, Dominique. Hey, Tara's 1212. Co-living single. I like this screen name. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you guys. Let me get some water. I'm going to tell you 5 things about moving abroad at 50. And then we'll get into it. My 5 things that I would like to talk about today. The differences in moving abroad at 50 and what it would have been like had I moved here, at 30, at 40, at 20. Okay. Number 1, I'm paying for done for me services like residency facilitators, where at a different age, I probably would have tried to do all these things myself. Number 1, I'm doing done for me. I'm buying time. Number 2, health insurance has had an extra couple of steps for me in Colombia that I don't think it would have had if I was 40 or 30 or 20. Number 3, I'm ready to be a golden girl. So co-living is back on the table, right? As a younger person, maybe some of us co-lived. I had renters in my houses. Both of the times I owned a home, I had a renter for at least a few months. Co-living is back on the table. Number 4, I'm looking for cooler climate places compared to where I would have moved to a decade or 2 ago. Cooler climate me, okay? Number 5, the first person on my care team has been a dermatologist. Whereas in other places, dermatology was also not on my agenda, right? I'm looking at my face now. I had the injectables and the Botox and stuff in January, and already it's worn off. These lines are back, right? I haven't had these lines for the last few months. They're back, right? Dermatology is on deck. And also about being a 50-year-old, I don't care what you think of that. Okay. I don't care if you were judgmental about that. If you're judging me for having a dermatologist, if you're judging me because I didn't have laugh lines for the last few months and jowls, right? My laugh lines and my jowls, they're back, right? Got to get my re-up, got to re-up on the at the dermatologist's office. Also, we do not care, okay? Those are things that are different about moving to Colombia at 50 than probably would have been if I'd moved here earlier, younger. Okay. So let me get, hold on. I have on pajama pants. I know it looked like I didn't have pants on, but I do have on pajama pants. I'm half dressed and half not dressed. Okay. Um, and I'm in a co-living house, and so I'm in the room instead of down in the living room. Because there are two other women here now instead of just me. And I'll be getting loud and stuff. So I thought I would stay up in here in the bedroom. But this is my last time in here, probably, because next Saturday I'll be at an Airbnb because it's my birthday. And then the Saturday after that, I should be all moved into my place. I should be all moved into my apartment with utilities on. I'm super excited about that. Okay. So why move abroad in the first place? Why leave the United States? How did I do this the other day? It looked cute the other day. I don't know. Why not live in the United States? I haven't lived in the United States, right? I haven't had a place to live in the United States since September of 2015. So I almost went a full 10 years as a nomad. I've been bopping around the world since September of 2015. Including Southeast Asia, including Latin America, I've spent some time, a couple of different times in Sub-Saharan Africa, not too much, but a little. Spent a little time in Australia, right? I've been bopping around for almost 10 years. And life for a Black woman is better in all of these places, all of these areas, than it is in the United States. Okay? If you're a Black woman and you're starting to, or not, maybe not starting to, but you're recognizing that you're spending too much energy and time on fear, right? Too much time feeling the fear of what are these people going to do next, right? Or spending too much time on hustling and grinding, on work, and not having a full life, not being a whole person. Some of these things are super American. Not that other countries don't have hustle and grind, but it's not the culture. It's not the expectation. Not that other places don't have people who anti-Blackness, not that other places don't have anti-Blackness, but you can understand why the United States would be so different, right? You can understand why living in a country on stolen land, right? Land stolen from people, right? Land built up through the enslavement of other people. You can understand why it would be harder for Black people in that place than other places. And so I really like not living in the United States. It's been really nice. I get to be a better version of me because I don't live in the United States. I don't have to spend a lot of time and energy on the US stuff that was going to prevent me from being a whole person, prevent me from being a healed person, prevent me from being a happy person, right? That joy and that happiness, Black women get to inwardly experience and outwardly express joy and happiness when you're in a place where they don't expect you by default to be the workhorse, right? To be the mule. When you're places where you're just a person, the real joy and happiness can be felt inside and be expressed on the outside, right? People don't care about me and what I'm doing in Colombia. Nobody is bothered by me. Nobody thinks it's their job to police me. And so that's why over here, we talk about leaving the United States. So I left the United States almost 10 years ago. This is the first time I'm moving someplace. You can leave the United States without actually moving anywhere. As long as that US passport still has some strength, some validity to it, which it still does today, right? I don't know what the future holds for US in the world, for Americans in the world. But right now, that passport is still mighty, mighty, right? It's mighty. And so as long as you have that passport, a lot of the doors of the world are opened up to us. Also, we're Black women and we birthed the whole world. The world is ours. Also, we're Black American people, and the whole foundation of the entire foundation of like any government or country or group of people or individual who has benefited from capitalism has benefited from black enslaved people. And so it's time to go and get yours, right? Consider it reparations. Consider bopping around the world a version of reparations. It's not really reparations because, like, we're owed money. We're owed cash money. The whole economic system that the world operates on was built on our backs. But in the meantime, get your reparations by seeing the world and taking your place in the world. I have a place in the world. As a Black woman, the world is mine. The world owes me as a Black woman. And so I gets mine. So let's talk about the differences about me moving abroad at 50 compared to what it might have been before. Number one, as I said, I'm paying for done-for-me services. I've paid residency facilitators in Mexico. My residency card is right over there, but I'm not going to get it. I paid a facilitator in Mexico to help me get my residency easier. And I'm paying an attorney here in Colombia, and it's just a digital nomad visa. It's not even a visa that's going to lead me to permanent residency. It's just a digital nomad visa that can be renewed. And I'm paying someone to do the work for me. That's a benefit of doing things at 50. I don't feel responsible to do things myself. I've never really been, well, I guess I have been no, I guess I used to be, it's hard to remember maybe. I used to be oh, I'll do it myself person. Yeah, I think that's true. I was an I'll do it myself person, but not now. No, somebody else can do it, right? Somebody else can do it. Somebody who knows how things work and whatever, they can do it. So I've really been hands off with these residencies. So I have 4-year residency in Mexico, 4-year temporary residency in Mexico. And that is I don't want to call it my backup plan, but that is like plan 1A. Plan 1 right now is Colombia. Plan 1A is Mexico. Now that I signed this lease in Colombia, I need Colombia to work out. But if something goes wrong and I can't, Colombia doesn't work out, Mexico is right there for me with open arms. Mexico will welcome me and my family with open arms. Adelia says residency facilitators weren't really a thing back when I got my residency, so I just figured it out. Yeah, I've been a I'll do it myself person, even if they had existed 10 years ago, let's say at 40, 41, when I was leaving to start bopping around. Even if I had tried to get residency then, I probably would have done it myself. Even if facilitators did exist. I have been I'll do it myself person, but I'm over that now. You can't buy, no, what is the saying? Money doesn't buy happiness. Money buys a lot of things that we don't realize. I have paid for happiness. I bought happiness. $14,400 is what I paid for happiness in 2015 when I quit my job. I had $14,400 saved so I could travel for a year. So I bought happiness. But I also bought time. This facilitator, these two facilitators, the Mexico facilitator and now the Colombia facilitator, I have paid them for their time. I have bought time. And let me tell you, as an almost 51-year-old, time is moving so fast. Every day gets faster and faster. It's kind of alarming. I've been talking about this on this channel since 2019, but it's still alarming because it's still moving faster and faster. Every day, every year moves faster, but seriously, every day is faster. So I pay for time. That's a nice thing about being a 50-year-old. That I value time more. I think that younger people naturally and also because of having less money sometimes, don't value time and will waste a lot of time to save some money. Sometimes that's because younger people may not have money, but also it's because time is relative and you think you have all the time in the world at 20. And at 50, I know I don't have all the time in the world. My face every day when I look in the mirror, my face is like the clock is ticking. You see this gray hair? That's like a physical reminder that we are, I don't want to be dramatic, but we are running out of time in a sense, right? I got plenty of time left and I don't even think I'm halfway done with life. I'm 51, I'll be 51 next Saturday. I don't think I'm halfway done with life, but it is moving. The needle is moving, or the hand on the clock is moving, right? Every day I look at them jowls and them lines, I'm like, time is moving. Okay, girl. And so I think paying for time is an advantage if you can do it, no matter how old you are. If you're here and you're in your 20s, good morning. Say good morning. Hello. Say hello. Being able to pay for time, worth it. I think worth it every time. Yeah, Adelia says she has more time behind her than ahead of her. Some of us do, some of us don't. I know I don't. Both of my grandfathers lived to be well into their 90s without all of the advantages that I have in life. So I feel like I know I'm going to get well into 100, 110, 120. I know I'm going to do it. I'll see some of y'all there. Some of you will be surprised to be there. Okay. Science has solved a lot of problems that you don't hardly hear of healthy people in their 70s dying anymore, right? And if you die in your 70s today, you have heart disease, you have something, you got something, cancer, you have something. You don't hear 70-year-old healthy people dying. You don't hear 80-year-old healthy people. Some now 80-year-old maybe. Most healthy people living well into their 90s, close to 100. By the time we get there, it'll be much longer. Tori's the therapist. Tori says delegating extends your life. I'm convinced. We'll see. We're going to find out. We'll find out. Empress Wanderlust says, my 18-year-old pays for happiness. She makes her own money, actually learned from her. Gen X was raised on struggle as latchkey kids. Gen Z raised with social media flexing. Okay, so she's already paying for it. Good. Yeah, you can pay for some of the things that in the world, the common misconception in the world is that you can't pay for certain things. You can't buy this. You can't buy that. You can't buy happiness. You can't buy time. Yeah, you can buy both of those things. I've done it. Right. I sure have. Dropping Knowledge Bomb says, I have someone who meal preps for me. Best decision I ever made. I can't wait till I get into my house. Listen, I got pots and pans and dishes already. I don't even like to cook. I have them for someone else to use. I can't wait to get in this house and find somebody to do that for me. I asked the homeowner here if he knew someone, and I asked my landlord if they knew someone. I'm going to have someone do this exact same thing for me. And it's going to change. It's going to revolutionize my life. It's going to give me time, of course, but it's also going to help me not eat like a toddler, which I think is also going to give me more time. Not eating like a toddler is a better way to make it to 120 years old than eating chicken sandwiches and chicken fingers every day. Happy birthday, Eva Joyce. Happy birthday. Friends wish Eva Joyce a happy birthday. And Juanita Borges also just paying for meal prep service. So helpful. Good. Chef B on Instagram at Chef B is a Black woman inside of this community who does meal prep services. And she does, I should know a better way to describe this, but she ships all around the United States. I'm going to go on Instagram and make sure that I have her correct Instagram handle. So I don't have a person here, but if you're in Los Estados Unidos, Chef B with 3 E's. No, excuse me. I am Chef B. Let me go ahead and change that. I am Chef B with 3 E's, B-E-E-E. She does meal prep inside of the United States, and she ships to people. Okay, check her out. Check her out. Okay, that is a thing that I expect to. That is one of the first things I expect to do when I get into my new apartment. I would like to have somebody meal prep or even just cook for me. Probably even before I have a housekeeper, right? Because in the first couple weeks, I probably won't need a housekeeper, but I'm going to need to eat food. I've already been asking around and I did some Googles. There are a couple of services, but they just don't look good. Like there are a couple of, services here, like y'all have HelloFresh or whatever in the United States. There are a couple of services here, so I may just go ahead and try them out first, while I'm looking for a person to do my meal prep for me. But I am Chef B on Instagram, ships around the world, around the country, around the United States. Yeah, I'm really a fan of buying time. It's been helpful. So that was number one, the number one difference, I guess, about moving abroad as a 50 at 50. Number two, health insurance has extra steps. So first, the health insurance lady was like, with your weight, apparently I'm the fattest person in Colombia because girl, with your weight, let's see if we can find someone to insure you. And then they were like, well, here, now you got to get a cholesterol test. Before I could even get insured, I had to get a cholesterol and a something, something test. They had to draw my blood. Of course, it came back awesome because I'm healthy. I'm just fat. Okay. I'm healthy. Get off my back. I'm just fat. Cholesterol, blood pressure, all of that was good. But I think being 50 and being fat meant that I had to take some extra steps to get insurance in Colombia that other people don't have to take. Because the lady was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, well, whatever. I want this Colombia insurance because number one, you need it to get the digital nomad visa. You need some sort of insurance to get the digital nomad visa. And this insurance was less expensive than getting like a year policy. There, like nomad insurance, as far as I know, nomad insurance would also have counted, but this one was better. This policy in Colombia was better. What was I saying? Two reasons. I don't know. I'm 50. Okay, I do forget things while I'm talking. Two reasons that I wanted the insurance, that it was worth. Oh, it's just a good policy. It's a good insurance, right? A lot of things here are done in home. House calls, right? House calls and in-home care are a thing. So it's just a good policy. I read it off the other day, but I don't know where my notes are. Is this that notebook? I read off what the policy came with and didn't come. No, I think that was on my computer. Good, it's a good policy. So I'm like, I'll jump through these hoops. Okay. AV Muhammad 64 says wait until you're 60. So getting insurance at 60 is even harder. Yeah, that's like an annoyance, man. And then when my stuff came back good, I'm like, I told y'all. I feel like this is age discrimination. Leave me alone. So that's a difference. Getting insurance at 50 and being a fat person was more complicated than I would have expected, having had travel and nomad insurance already off and on since 2015. I've had travel and nomad insurance. Getting insured in Colombia was a pain in the butt. Frankly, it was a pain in the butt. It annoyed me when they were like, you got to get your cholesterol test before we'll insure you. And then when everything came back good, there's no like, congratulations, right? Clap for me. Make me jump through all these hoops. Clap for me, right? Come on. But yeah, insurance, probably a little extra steps because of my age and because of my weight. Number three, I'm ready to be a golden girl. Co-living is back on the table. I'm co-living right now. That's why I'm locked up in this bedroom with Martin Luther King's posters around, because I'm back into the idea of co-living. Like I said, in my 20s, early 30s, 20s and early 30s, I had renters. I had someone rent a room out for me in my house. But then the rest of the 30s and 40s were like, no, indeed, I'm not. No, the rest of the 30s. And then in my 40s, I went to start staying in hostels when I had to, because I wanted to see the world and I didn't have any money. But when I had enough money, I stopped staying in dorm rooms and hostels. Part of that was having enough money. Part of having enough money to not need a dorm room was just going to really inexpensive places. In Cambodia and Vietnam, $16 a night can get you a lovely hotel room. I think even still, back then in 2015 it could, but maybe even still, $16 a night got me a lovely hotel room. And so when I didn't need financially to have a roommate or co-live, I didn't. Now I'm back into co-living. I got the biggest apartment I possibly could navigate because I would like to do some co-living. You know that I'm here in Colombia to do a particular thing. But that thing is going to take months or a year or two. They say 2 years, I think 1 year. But in the meantime, I think there's going to be somebody up in that house with me. The apartment that I'm renting is a duplex, right? A 2-story apartment, penthouse. It's a penthouse. There is a living room, a formal dining room, which could be used as a separate living room, I think. There's an office, a study. They call it a study. In addition to 4 bedrooms. So there's enough space for me to have a living space and a bedroom space, and another person to have a living space and a bedroom space, and let's not be on top of each other. So co-living is back on deck. Like I said, for the last 10 years or so, I stopped when I could afford to not share a space with someone. I didn't share a space with someone. But now, even though I can afford to not share a space with someone, I'm ready to share a space with someone. I think I've seen how much better I am as a person in community with people. And I've seen how sharing space is a path to that. Also, I've just seen how unnecessary it is that everyone have their own space. Why do I have my own kitchen when I don't cook? Right? Why do I have my own dining room? There is a lot of unnecessary space. I think that Jewel Pearson, who is Ms. Bohemian Soul, who has the most beautiful tiny home, has a solution to that, right? The solution to listen, does everybody need their own, right? A solution to that is to go tiny, right? I think another solution to that is to share. Are there more solutions than that? Going tiny or cooperative? Yeah, that's about it. And even tiny homes, there are tiny home communities that might share one bigger space. So maybe a bunch of tiny homes, but they share something. If I was in a tiny home, I would love for y'all to put an in-ground pool in my community and we share that in-ground pool. Thank you. Or at least a hot tub, right? Sharing and tiny can go well together. But I think, yeah, seeing that there are things in a home, in a house, that I don't need solo. I think that's where I am today. Also, I like to be out. I like to bop around, and it would be nice to not have a home that's sitting up empty while I'm gone. So for several reasons, because I'm a better person with other people around when I'm not in 100% hermit mode, right? Because I have space to share and because I travel a lot, I think co-living works for me. Hi, Sibby56 says, what's the difference between roommates and co-living? I don't know. I don't know. Listen, in 2025, they be saying co-living, so I'll be saying co-living. I don't know the difference. I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing. I don't know. They be saying co-living out on the internet, so I be saying co-living. There are co-living plans where people are not roommates though. So I guess co-living can include, so let's say you have a tiny house community and y'all share an industrial sized kitchen and a pool and a movie theater room, right? People would still consider that co-living, even though you have your own place. You got your own bedroom and space and bathroom, right? So I think roommates has a connotation of like we in the same room. I don't know. I don't know. I have had roommates and I have done co-living. I don't know. I don't think there's a difference. Empress Wanderlust says ain't no difference. I don't know. I think it's just a 2025 word that is out in the atmosphere. The zeitgeist. Yes. So Erica De Niro TV. I think some of the first women I saw doing this in this newest wave. I think we're in a wave of this. We're in a wave of co-living, and I think the first people I saw was two. At least one of them had a child. Two women. I don't know if they were both mothers, but one of them had a child, and the other was her friend, her sister, her cousin, something, and they were living together, raising. Maybe they both had children, raising their children together. I'm 100% into that. I'm into it. We have been convinced that doing things on our own is the right way and it's the wrong way for almost everything. For almost everything. Raising a child being a single parent, do it. I think a lot of Black women would be happier if they had, and I see a lot of women on the Instagram who are in their 30s and 40s who obviously want parenthood, motherhood for themselves, but think they have to be married first. Girl, go get you a baby from somewhere. So doing it alone, doing it, being the sole parent is not the same as being the only person raising the child. Child raising alone, why would you do that? It's hard. I can't imagine. Right? You could be the only parent without being the only person raising that child. I have a friend from the Army. When she would work, we worked in the pharmacy together. She had been my roommate, and then she went off and out and got grown. I stayed in the barracks. She went out and got grown and had a baby. And when she would work weekends, I would keep the baby. And so, I don't know, 18 years later, we're on a Zoom call together. And she says to the now adult, Stephanie raised you. And I'm like, I didn't raise you. And then I'm like, well, maybe, maybe I did partially raise this girl because on weekends, I was my homie, right? I'm going to the mall, she going to the mall, me and the baby, right? I'm going over my boyfriend's house, she going over my boyfriend's house, me and the baby. Yeah, so there are things that we think just because we're the only person, just because you're a single parent doesn't mean you're the only person who can raise that child. I'm not a parent yet, y'all know that. But there are a lot of things that we're convinced that we should do solo. Just because you can own a home without being the only homeowner or the only person taking care of the home, right? I just told y'all, I want a housekeeper. I want somebody, at least a meal prep person, if not a full personal chef, right? Solo, we got tricked into thinking doing it by yourself meant you were winning and grown and successful, and doing it in community meant you were a child. Well, no, when you go around the world, co-living and intergenerational living is very normal, right? You go around the world, they live in community with each other. Maybe they don't live in the same house, but they got a compound, right? This is my house, this is my parents right here, this is my sister and her family, this my, right? Communal. or compound living, we don't call it compound living, living in community is much more normal. And those people don't have the same amount of pressure. When you have somebody else who can pitch in or help, support, when you have somebody else who can give you support, it's better. I think it's better. They seem to like it better, right? The man who owns this house in Bogota, his parents and his sister live not far from here. And when his parents moved to a different neighborhood, I don't know if they sold him this house, gave him this house, if they still own it and he's renting, I don't know. But instead of him being here by himself, he's like, okay, who's moving in with me, right? So he's not even here. He's out of town right now. But there's 3 of us here, 3 different women here, co-living. Yeah, doing things alone, scam. It's a scam. Being responsible for everything alone, it's a scam. Take some of that off of your plate. Find somebody, right? I think co-living is an amazing solution. I think that getting an apartment and y'all share an apartment is an amazing solution instead of being responsible for everything on your own. I've really enjoyed over the last couple years at least going somewhere and saying, I have an extra bedroom. Do you want to come? I've done it from the US to Costa Rica, South Africa, Vietnam, right? Vietnam, I got the place and I was like, I'm getting a villa. Okay. Who wants to stay in the villa? It's been really a balm. It's been really a connector. It's been really amazing. I know those were like a couple weeks at a time, maybe a month at a time. But it's been a friendship strengthener. And it's been a me strengthener. It's made me happier, right? So I'm looking forward to doing more of that here in Bogota. And yeah, I did. I saw a question, but it scrolled past. Did I find my place in Bogota yet? Yes. Hey, F Doctor. I sure did. I signed my lease. Where are my keys? Oh, where my key? Everything is too far. The shelf is too far. I can't show you let me show you my keys. You're going to see my pajama pants again. Hold on. Or maybe you won't. Okay, so I have a bunch of keys on this keychain because I have my the keys to this place too, but let me hide those. So let's see. Okay, just my renter keys. Bing, bing, bang, bing, bing, bang, ba, 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 bing, bing, bing. Got my keys, signed my lease, paid my advance. They had me, I'll do a full video about it. I'll pre-record a full video about the process. I don't have my cedula. It's like kind of like a social security number, but it's a number that you give out. It's not a secret number. I don't have that yet because I'm waiting on my paperwork. So I'm renting from a lady and her daughters. And before I could even, I signed the lease. They handed me the keys. I hadn't given them $1. And I hadn't really worked out how to pay them because my money is in US dollars and US bank accounts, and I got to pay them in Colombian pesos. I got to pay this lady, I don't know, almost 30 million pesos, right? For rent, deposit, advance, whatever. And I hadn't even really worked that out. And they were like, hey, here are the keys. You can start moving in now if you want, even though technically my lease starts on July 1st. They were like, bring stuff over as soon as you want. So I'm very excited about it. Just yesterday, I signed the lease on Wednesday and started trying to transfer money on Wednesday, and I had the hardest time. So PayPal has a money transfer platform called Zoom, XOOM. they shut me out. They were like, "You're a fraud. You're a thief. You're a liar. You can never use this platform ever again." They kicked me off the platform for trying to transfer money to Colombia while I was already in Colombia. Something about that. They were like, "Never. You can never use this platform again." So I'm kicked off of Zoom unless I get another phone number, right? Wise only in Colombia, Wise only transfers to not all of PayPal, just Zoom. I'm not kicked off of all of PayPal. I'm just kicked off of the Zoom platform, which is owned by PayPal. Wise only transfers to Banco de Colombia. There are many banks in Colombia. And if your person doesn't use Banco de Colombia, you cannot use Wise to transfer money into Colombia. Okay, so she's at a different bank, which is a reputable bank, but Wise was like, "Oh no, we don't F with them." So couldn't use Zoom, couldn't use Wise, which were the two main players in the platform. So I transferred half using Remitly and half using Western Union. And they both worked. Remitly did take an extra day, but they had me send a video showing my face, verifying that I was a real person who matched the passport. And then they let the thing go through. And then Rashida told me about another one that I wrote down somewhere called something else. And now Nichelle's saying Revolut. Okay, so there are other options. Yeah, so there are other options. Remitly, let it go through after a full day of problems. And Western Union was like, she's got her money now. Western Union took less than an hour. And I think the rest, either the Western Union exchange rate and fees were better than Remitly, or I accidentally sent a different amount. I think Western Union was the winner here. But I'll try some of these others. I expect to have a bank account in Colombia. As soon as I get my digital nomad visa and get my cedula, I'll be able to open up an account in Colombia, and then I can transfer money over to myself, which I think it's going to be easier than transferring money to a third party in Colombia. These banks are really, 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 American banks are really, 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 really crappy to people who live in Latin America. Every time I've tried to do something in Costa Rica, in Mexico, in Colombia, the banks act like like I am, or like that country is the most fraudulent place they've ever seen. And like every transaction there has to be fraud. That is discrimination. It's discrimination. So I've had a time, right? Being a business owner with business accounts, being a business owner who has to pay people, being a person who has to send money from one country to another while I'm somewhere else in the world. It's been a pain in the butt. It's really been a pain in the butt. It's probably been the worst part of being a self-employed person, having to navigate this kind of stuff. Whereas I'm used to just the paycheck shows up and I don't have to pay people. But you know what? So Brooklyn Charlie says, BKNY Charlie. It's unfortunately because of money laundering. But you know who's laundering money? They laundering money into the Caribbean. Are people laundering money to Bogota, Colombia? Or are they laundering money to an island in the Caribbean? Give them the smoke. Leave me alone. Right? Are they really laundering money to Colombia, or are they laundering money out in the Caribbean? Are people in the Caribbean having these problems? I don't know. But it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing to have to navigate. But once I open my bank account here, I expect it to be much easier. So as soon as I get my cedula, you can't open a bank account in Colombia. You can't do hardly anything in Colombia, in Bogota anyway, until you have that cedula, until I have that number. Once I get my number, I can open a bank account, whatever. So the daughter of the landlord, right? My landlord has 3 adult daughters. I met one the first time I went to go view the place. And now I am, when I signed the other day, I met daughter number 2, or I don't know if she's daughter number 2, but I met a second daughter. She is an executive at a different bank. And she was like, And I told her didn't have a bank account yet in Colombia. And she was like, oh, I can have one of my employees come here and open the bank account for you. And I was like, oh, now? And she was like, oh, no, girl, not until you get the cedula. Like, there is no way. I'm like, if anybody can help me get a bank account before I get my cedula, it's this lady. And she was like, no, get your cedula. So that's the thing. But I do plan to get an account here because this is not a place where you can live without having a bank account. There is payment systems, like there's a payment system called Neki. What did I try to do the other day? Oh, paying for my insurance, trying to pay for my health insurance. They send you Neki, right? And I don't have Neki because I don't have a Bogota or Colombian bank account. There were 2 or 3 different times. Oh, I saw this set of pots and pans that I wanted at the store. They had the 8-piece set, but online they had the 10-piece set for almost the same price. The 10-piece set was missing one particular like saute pan. That is only $75 difference. But right, so it wasn't a big deal, but I wanted the 10-piece set. So I go into the store, Falabella, and I go to, and they don't have the 10-piece set in the store. They have the 8-piece. And she said, well, you can buy the 10-piece online. She said, come with me to the computer. We did all this in Espanol because, yo hablo. And so she takes me over to the computer and she's like, we can just order the 10-piece set and we can have it delivered to the house or delivered to the store. Give me your cedula and I'll put that in for you. And I'm like, oh, no tengo cedula, tengo mi pasaporte. Because every time you buy electronics, I've had to show them my passport anyway. And she's like, oh no. She closed the thing, closed out the window. Oh no, you don't have your cedula. You can't buy online. You can't shop online in Colombia. What are you thinking? So, everything requires me to have the cedula and to have Neki, the Colombian thing. So this is a place where you will need a pass. You will need a bank account. I think, Adelia, I think between Rashida and Adelia, I think only one of them I think Adelia has a Mexican bank account, but not Rashida, or maybe neither one of you. Yeah, so some places you don't need it. In Costa Rica, I would have gotten a Costa Rica bank account as well because of the payment system. They use a special payment system. When I tried to order flowers for Katrina's birthday, I had to go pay in cash because I couldn't do it online because I don't have the payment system. So it's like having Zelle, but even more used. Zelle, you can live your life in the United States without using Zelle. But I don't know how you would live your life in Colombia without using Neki. Based on my limited experience so far, you're going to need it. So am I going to be cooking? No, these pots and pans are for somebody else to cook. I made a list of the things I needed to move in. And I was like, where do pots and pans fall on this list? Truthfully, I do like to make breakfast though. So I put them in tier 1. I made 3 tiers of move-in, right? And I put my pots and pans on tier 1 because I do like to make breakfast. Although where I'm going, let's see, 2 blocks away to the south, 2 blocks from my apartment to the south, any restaurant, like a lot of the restaurants that I've eaten at that I've enjoyed have a second location or third location or an 8th location, right? And almost every restaurant I like is a couple blocks from me. Libertario, the coffee shop, my favorite coffee shop is now called Libertario. Yeah. And they have one. That one is the next block over. That might be 3 or 4 blocks away. Yeah, I'm in a good location, so I can do without having pots and pans for breakfast, but I would prefer to. So I got my pots and pans. I went ahead and got the 8-piece set in the store, and I'm just going to buy the separate piece. It's not here in Colombia, but I think one day I'll buy it in the US and bring it back. It's not an urgent thing. I don't need a saute pan, I don't think. I think that's what I don't even know for sure that that's what it is. It's the wide, deep pan with the lid. Wide, deep, not a frying pan. I have 2 frying pans. What is my set? 2 frying pans, maybe 3 frying pans and 3 pots, or 2 frying pans. 3 pots and 3 lids. Yeah, 2 frying pans, 3 pots, 3 lids. I don't have the saute pan in my set. Yeah, so I made my little move-in list. I have my dishes, I have my silverware, I have glassware, I have pots and pans. That's what I have for the kitchen so far. No microwave yet. The place didn't come with a refrigerator, right? In a lot of the world, when you rent, you supply your own appliances. So this one didn't come with a refrigerator. So that's the next thing I need to get. That's only going to take 2 days delivery, so I'm not pressed for it, but that's the next thing. And then bed is being made because we're in Colombia where you can get good wood furniture for the price of, for less than IKEA. There's an IKEA here, which I want to go to maybe this weekend. I might go tomorrow. For less than IKEA, you can get solid wood furniture made to order. So I have a bed and a desk on the way. I know the desk is not priority number 1, but while I was there, my desk was actually on tier 3 because if I have a dining table or a kitchen table, I don't need a desk. But while I was in the store and the desk was looking so pretty, that wood, you know how, you just don't see solid wood furniture. I don't see solid wood furniture. As a person who spends a lot of time in Airbnbs, I see a lot of the same stuff with that wood effect, right? Wood effect. And here you can find solid wood furniture for the price of wood effect furniture. So anyway, those are things that are coming that'll be delivered within the first week in July. Yeah, I didn't say there was. Relax, Walker. Relax. I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I say that we've been convinced that that's the right way. That is the only way to be a mature, responsible adult. Right? We've been convinced that the only way to be a responsible, mature adult is to have your own home and be doing all of these things on your own for yourself by yourself. I'm convinced that that was a trick of the enemy. That was a trick of capitalism, right? If we can profit from people buying homes, then we need everyone to buy a home or rent a home. We need everyone to have their own space and their own thing, their own lawn, which is the newest thing I'm railing against, right? Everybody has to have their own lawn and their own this and their own that. But we see people live well, live better even. I'm going to say live better in conjunction with other people. Oh, Colombia, we know that. We know. Thank you, Joyful One. Thank you. Y'all want to do a whole lot of correcting of us today. We know it's Colombia. We know. Thank you. Yeah, that faux wood. Even the flooring, right? I got so sick of, I've been in Airbnbs here since January, except for when I've dipped out for, to go to Vietnam, and I dipped out to go to Mexico, get my residency. But yeah, I'm so sick of the flooring. You're like, why is it gray? Where did who decided that gray flooring was what people wanted? Where did that come from? That last place I was in, that's the thing that really set me off. Gray flooring, gray doors and trim. Nobody, do people really feel good when they see the color gray? I don't know. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm super excited too. Hi, this is Deborah, 60 plus Black women expats. That's Deborah Valerie. How are things for you, Deborah? So I don't know. Listen, okay. So Empress Wanderlust is asking if I have a person co-living, what about the lease? I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to him. It says no subletting, but is it subletting if I'm in the house? I don't know what subletting means in Colombia. I did have an attorney look at my thing, but I didn't ask specific questions. They were like, this is standard. You can sign it. Right? But But I didn't ask any questions, and I didn't want to get on a call. They said, do you want to get on a call so we can go over it? And I was like, absolutely not. I do not want to get on a call with the attorney and go through my lease. No, I don't want to do that. If you say it's okay to sign, I'm signing it. So now I need to find those things out. Because I didn't have my cedula, they said, my landlord was like, pay 3 months in advance. So I've paid them 3 months plus my deposit. So I expect them to be more amenable to whatever I ask because they got a nice chunk of money up front and I'm a likable person. People like me. So I'm expecting them to be like, here's, I'm expecting things to be smooth. The wood store. The furniture, I got my furniture made at 2 different places. I got my bed. Girl, I don't know the name of the store. I want to say, I don't. One day I'll make a video and I'll tell you. Actually, I shouldn't share that anyway until I at least see the furniture and see what it looks like. They were diagonal from each other. So just like in other cities, Bogota is a city where there's a row of this type of store. There's a row of lighting stores. There's a row of furniture stores. So I went to that row and just looked across, like went from here to here to here to here to here to here. I had seen some good stuff online on Facebook Marketplace, because here they'll advertise on Facebook Marketplace, even though they want you to come to the store to buy the stuff. They'll show you some sample. They'll post some things on Facebook Marketplace. So I found the section by seeing the furniture on Facebook Marketplace and being like, oh, this is from this store. And then I look on Google Maps and then I see there's like, I don't know, 10, 12 blocks of stores, like just as far as your eye can see, furniture makers or furniture stores. Some of them, one of the places I went there, she said, our factory or our whatever is not far from here. The place I went to get my table, the dining room table, she was like, the factory is not far from here. So before it's finished, you can go look at it. I was like, oh, great. Knowing good and well, I'm not doing that. And then the place where I ordered the bed, I think they make that stuff. I don't know. It wasn't that big. They were doing some stuff right there. So I don't know if they make the furniture. I don't know. They may not make it right there. But anyway, whatever. Furniture stores. It's just a big row of furniture shops here. And once I get the furniture, maybe I'll tell you the names of the places. Elle, good morning. How did you find the co-living space? Facebook group. So this is why it's so hard. It's hard to be a responsible person who doesn't want Facebook and Meta taking over the world and ruining people's lives like they're doing. Right. So it's hard to live without them, though, because these Facebook groups have been tremendously helpful. The attorney that I'm using for my visa, this co-living space listing, and the apartment that I'm renting, I found them on Facebook in various Facebook groups for Bogota, Colombia. It's going to be hard to separate myself. Impossible to get off of Meta entirely, because if you live outside of the United States, you need WhatsApp. You need WhatsApp. Everyone I've conducted business with in Colombia, in Costa Rica, they have conducted business through WhatsApp. So getting off Meta entirely, not possible for me. Not possible. Because the Facebook groups are exceedingly helpful. The WhatsApp communities, very helpful. And WhatsApp is how businesses do business. So I'm in a Bogota group called short-term rentals or something in Bogota. And he posted his house. He posted it back when I was here in January. He had at least 1 bedroom available then. And I was leaving. So I asked him if I could come and see it. Of course, he's always out of town. So he was like, I'll come back on whatever day and you can come see it that day. But then we didn't connect. We didn't get back in touch with each other that day. So then when I came back this time, I was like, I had an Airbnb for 2 weeks, maybe. And I was like, this time I'm going to go and see the room. So I went and saw the room right before my Airbnb was over and moved on in. But yeah, it was a Facebook group. So I'm in a short-term rental group, which I can go ahead and get out of. I'm in a long-term rental group, which I can get out of. I'm in a furniture buy and sell group. And then just regular Facebook marketplace. All of those things are how I've been able to do this. So the attorney is and then I'm in an expat group for Bogota, and I'm in a Black expat group for Bogota, which is very inactive. They're mostly on WhatsApp. I'm in it, but anyway, Facebook groups have been extremely helpful to me. And so that could be step 1 or 0 for you, anyone who's considering a move abroad. If you're considering a place, you don't have to know you're going to a place. If you're considering a place, go ahead and join some Facebook groups in that place. Some of them don't want you to join until you actually live there, but most of them do not care. They don't care. You can be, because I see some of the same people in every group I join, right? H and D, I see D in all the groups I join. You don't have to already be there. You can be scouting a place and still join the Facebook groups and see what's happening. Oh, we're just having fun. Oh, okay. I'm like, so I don't like being told what to do. Not too much. I don't have too much. I don't take very many things personally. I don't sometimes I'm supposed to take it personally and I don't, right? I don't take very many things personally. But sometimes people telling me what to do just annoys me. I've taken a lot of personality and psychology and IQ tests, and I know I am a rebel. I test as a rebel. My dad is a rebel. I'm a rebel. Something about that. I'm like, I know. I already know. Don't tell me. As a person who talks, you would be surprised. I think you would assume a person who talks as much as I do on the internet would be good with people telling me things unsolicited. But sometimes I don't know, something kicks up. But I'll relax. I'll calm down. Okay. BKNY, Charlie, I'll calm down. Thank you. Thank you for helping me, is what I meant to say. Thank you for helping me. I'll calm down. Hello, Angela B. Martin, who is in Querétaro, Mexico. Yes, custom-made furniture has been a treat for us in Mexico. I absolutely love my custom wood dining room table. Yes, it's so nice. It feels so heavy, and the grain is real. It was very exciting to go and pick out my stuff. Yeah, and they use the jacaranda tree for furniture. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know. They call it morado, flor morado is what they call the jacaranda tree here in Colombia. And a lot of furniture is made from that, which is a little less red, which is what I don't care for the red undertone wood, like a cherry. That's not mine. I like a duller wood. And here the jacaranda, the stuff looks really nice. And then they also do a lot in teak, especially outdoor furniture, right? It's easy to find teak outdoor furniture. So when it's time for me to do that, I'll go back on the furniture street and find the outdoor specialists, because there are some stores that specialize, some stores that do everything. But I did see some places advertising teca, madera teca. Yeah. Myers-Briggs, INFP. I've taken all the tests. I'm an INFP. I'm a visionary. I am the poet. No, Myers-Briggs is poet. INFP is the poet, right? Yeah. I've taken them all. Oh, good. Miss Patchouli, hi, good morning. Thank you. Good morning, beloved. Good morning. Thank you. Thanks to you, I'll be on the Black Expats in Panama relocation tour next week. Good. Charlotte VanHorn runs the Black Expats in Panama relocation tours in Panama. And women I have met who didn't even know me cried and cried to me about how amazing, how awesome those relocation tours are. Charlotte VanHorn does her thing. Okay. She adds, it's about relocating, but it's also about learning the culture and connecting. And it's about getting you like acclimated to a new place. People, women, Black women and families love Charlotte VanHorn's Black Expats in Panama relocation tours. I have a link. Hold on, y'all. Because she kindly sent Exodus Summit an affiliate link because so many women from the Exodus Summit community were coming on her tour. She was like, let me give you an affiliate link. She kindly gave us an affiliate link. And I believe she may still have some spots available for Charlotte VanHorn tours this year. Her tours fill up. Okay. So her Black Expats in Panama relocation tours, they fill up. But she may still have some space in 2025. I know it's not even half over, okay, but I'm telling you that they fill up. So here is the link. I'll drop this in the description later. So if you're watching the replay, hello friends in the future. I hope it's awesome there. I'll drop this link in the description as well. Yes, Panama, I don't think you need to only be interested in Panama City because I think she goes to a few different locations in Panama. So if you want Panama City because you want warm, or if you want Boquete, or whatever that other city is that's higher altitude, that's cooler, or if you want something else, find out about Charlotte's tours. Go to her link and find out what's happening, what's going on. We talked to Charlotte on the Exodus Summit YouTube channel. I haven't talked to her on this channel, which maybe was a mistake that I need to fix. But on the Exodus Summit YouTube channel, Exodus Summit Charlotte, let's find that link. We talked to her over there. No, maybe you need to put in Panama. Oh, look at this not coming up. I know we talked to her. Oh, maybe she talked to us. I guess we've been on her channel, but she hasn't been on our channel. Oh, well, we need to fix that. We'll fix that. I feel like we did. I don't know. Anyway, you will find info on the website. Oh, we did. The search is not coming up in the search. Being personally in charge of 3 YouTube channels makes things it's hard because I believe I've already done 400 or 500 YouTube videos on this channel alone, and then I've got 2 other channels. I don't know what's happening is what I'm saying. But there's the link. There's the link. All right. I went to so I didn't go on a Sunday. I went to the market, but I went to the market right here in Usaken, but I didn't go on a Sunday. So mostly it was not the food part. You know what I'm saying? There weren't fruits and vegetables. I went to the part where they were selling bags, which of course I bought a bag. They were selling the touristy things instead of the set Sunday market things. So, because I didn't go on until Monday. But it was good. I bought that. I'm looking right here because I hung the bag on the wall as a decoration. But you know how Colombia, they sell a very particular hat, black and white, and they sell a very particular bag. Instead of getting the bag in black and white, I got mine in beige and white because my jacket is beige and I like the design and whatever. The lady was so happy to see me because I don't ask about prices. So she was like, Once she showed me the bigger bag. I picked up a bag, and then she showed me a bigger version. I was like, oh, okay. And then when I didn't ask the price, she was like, it's on. She took me all around that stall. Do you want this? Do you want that? Thank you, Brandy Clark 7117. Thank you. Friends, make sure that you hit the like button. No, but I keep saying I need to do that today, today, today. Hi, Amelia. So every day I'm like, let me make the group meetup birthday party group. So I'll make that today. I do have to go and pick my sofa man is delivering my sofa today. I've got a used sofa while I'm waiting for, I'm going to check out the room and the light for a little bit and then probably have a sofa made. But I did buy a used sofa because there's a lot of space in the house and that sofa can go somewhere once I get a better sofa. But anyway, man's dropping the sofa off today. So I do need to go. And so what I'm saying is I'll be out in the world doing things, but I do need to make that meetup group today so that y'all can meet each other. On your channel? Oh, okay. Okay. So it was then us on her channel and she was on Rashida's channel. Let me find that. I know I talked to her, but that one must have been on her channel. Here we go. Why you should relocate. Okay, so here's the video with Charlotte VanHorn. So if Panama wasn't even on your radar, you're not going to be interested in going to the tour until you watch this video. Okay, once you watch the video, you may want to move to Panama. Okay, so there's that. All right, so watch her conversation with Rashida on Rashida's channel. And then if you're interested, check out her tours. The first time a woman, I've had this happen to me 2 different times. I'm sitting in the airport lounge and a woman walks up to me and says, I just came back from Panama because of you, right? So she saw some videos either on the ExodUS channel or my channel, saw some videos about moving abroad, found out about Charlotte's relocation tours, either inside of our community or somewhere else by doing her Googles, went on the relocation tour. One woman, both of them were couples. Both of the times it was a woman and her husband. But the first time the woman came up and talked to me alone. The second time, the woman and her husband, the husband was like, that's Stephanie Perry over there. And she was like, no, it's not. And he was like, that's Stephanie Perry. So they came over and sat with me and talked to me in the lounge. And they were just flying back from the Black Expats in Panama relocation tour with Charlotte. I have heard rave reviews about this relocation tour. Okay. So without having been on this myself, I feel confident in telling you, if you're interested in Panama, this is a thing you're going to want to do. Rave reviews. Okay, how is the weather today? The weather is the same in Bogota every day, okay? High of 66, partly sunny, right? You're going to get a couple hours of sun and then the sun is going to go away. That's every day in Panama, in Bogota, Colombia. Every day in Bogota. So same today. Although we did have a chilly day. I bought a heater. I got the heater right here. I went to buy a heater the other day because we had a day last week where it only got up to 50 something. And I could feel the difference. When I came back with the heater from the Falabella. I went Falabella in Home Center. No, this one I got from Home Center. I came back from the Home Center with the heater and he was like, oh, is it cold in here? The co-living homeowner was here. Jorge was here. He left. He's out of town for a couple weeks now, but he was here. He's like, oh, I guess it's cold up there. I was like, dude, I just couldn't warm up that day. I just stayed chilly all day. So I went and got myself one of those DeLonghi heaters, like the wide heater thing. It's going to get put to good use here. But my place does have a fireplace. I was just getting ready to tell y'all. I do have a fireplace. Now it's wood burning and I don't know about the ashes and stuff. So, but I do have a fireplace and she said it was recently cleaned and whatever. You can just get some wood and use it. And I was like, well, where do you get wood? And she was like, the grocery store. I'm like, is this woman an idiot? The grocery store. So I do have a fireplace in the living room. Some of the places I saw, I had a fireplace in the living room and the bedroom, but this one doesn't have a fireplace in the bedroom. My place doesn't have a fireplace in the bedroom. But I think over time, eventually, I'll just buy one of those electric fireplaces, and then, put it on a little stand and pretend like it's a real fireplace. It'll be good. It'll be good. Do I need iron? I don't know. Why? Do I seem like I need iron? No, I just had my blood work done. Nothing was out of whack. I only looked at the cholesterol numbers to make sure my insurance wasn't higher. But no, I don't think so. I have dry mouth because I'm 50. Menopause, so perimenopause brought dry mouth to me, and then dry ears. Everything is dried up. I'm all dried up, okay, because of menopause. Perimenopause transitioned into full-on menopause. So a lot of my perimenopause symptoms are gone. I haven't had night sweats in I don't know how long. A lot of perimenopause symptoms are over, but the dry mouth won't go away. It won't go away. I just like yesterday we talked to a woman, Rashida and Jada and I talked to a woman yesterday, and I was just so I could barely open my mouth. Ugh, dry mouth. It's been a thing. I don't know if it's gonna last forever. I don't know. Uh, you know what? We didn't finish my list. And let's finish the list. Okay. So moving abroad at 50, I'm paying for done for me services like the residency facilitators because money buys time. I would like to buy time. Number two, health insurance required me to take some extra steps. Part of that is because I'm 50. Part of that is because I'm fat. And apparently in Colombia, they've never seen a fat person before. So I had to take some extra steps to get my insurance. Number three, difference about moving abroad at 50 is I'm ready to be a golden girl. Co-living, yes, I'm into it. There was a time when as soon as I could afford my own, I got my own. But I'm over it. I'm over that. I'm a better person in community with other people. And as a hermit, co-living would be a thing that would help me be a better person instead of a hermit who every day is like, where did the day go? In my world, a roommate would also be kind of an accountability partner. So I could be like out, get up and do things instead of being in the bed at 2 p.m. like, the day just flew by. I don't know. That's not your roommate's responsibility to make you a better person. But I think my roommate, my co-living person, would help me be a better person. Number four, I'm in a cooler climate. You never would have convinced me that I would have enjoyed living in a place where the high all year is like barely 70. But I like it so far. We'll see. You know me, and maybe you don't know, I have a 4-year alarm clock that goes off every 4 years. I'm like, change everything. So I think I can do 4 years of chilly weather as long as I can get on a plane and go someplace warm when I want to. Chilly here is different from chilly other places. 65 here, as long as the sun is out, 65 feels more like 72. I'll go with 72. 65 feels like 72 in Bogota when the sun is out. Now, when the sun is not out, like that day when it was so cold, 55 felt like 45, right? Because no sun to warm up the air. But cooler climate's been good to me. Even though I don't have night sweats, I still break into a sweat every now and then as a menopausal lady. And so it's been nice to be in a place that's not piping hot. Because when we went to Hobosh for Rashida's birthday, I was like, oh yeah, I used to spend all of my time in this weather. I can't imagine that now. It was great to get in the swimming pool. Felt really good getting in the pool, right? But I think if I lived in that weather as a menopausal lady, I wouldn't leave the house. So it's easier to leave the house when it's 65 than when it's 95. Okay. And that's a difference about being a 50-something moving abroad. Cooler climate. Who knew? Who knew? I would never have looked at Bogota because weather is one of the first things I look at for a place in a new city. I never would have looked at Bogota and been like, I think I'm going to move there until the menopause. And I'm glad I did because things are really working out. Things are really nice here. Oh, wait. Anything about that? I need you as a roommate. I'll be, no, that's a little too much. Too much. Too much. I'm 51. I'll be 51 on Saturday. No, indeed. Okay. And I didn't tell you all this. So Charlotte VanHorn also has launched the Medellin, Colombia relocation tours. Medellin just happened for the first time, I believe, a few weeks ago. I haven't talked to anyone to get an update, but based on what we know about Charlotte, it was also amazing. Medellin, Colombia, better weather than Bogota. I don't know that Medellin is as pretty as Bogota. I don't know. I haven't been to Medellin. Okay. I said, I don't know. Okay. Don't get mad at me. I don't know if Medellin is as pretty as Bogota, but it's less cold. It's springtime weather, whereas they call Bogota fall weather. Medellin is spring. You're getting in the 70s and 80s in Medellin, and Charlotte's hosting a tour there soon. Thank you, Angie, for reminding us or letting us know. Yeah, when I need to warm up, just hop on a plane. Dipping and doing. When he used to be like dipping and doing. Yeah, when I need to warm up, I'll just hop on a plane. Am I in community with local people? No, I have to start doing some things. So my landlord, Jorge, is my first friend. He's not the co-living landlord, Jorge, is the first person I know in Bogota. But he always be somewhere else. He's in Germany right now. Like Jorge be going, okay? And then the other women in the house, none of them are from here either, right? They're all passing through. So I need to find a thing. So I signed up for a running event. Maybe I'll find some running friends. I don't know. I need to, what my plan is, my two plans, get in the Facebook groups for expats, because you need to know some people who've moved here because they can help you with the moving process. People who've always lived here, they don't know. They don't know. They're like, you don't have a cedula? I don't know, girl. I can't, right? Whereas people who've moved here, like, here's how you navigate these things. So I did that. But the Black in Colombia group is mostly men, and they're the Medellin, Colombia men, the kind of men who go to Medellin. So I met two women from the group, and don't you know, neither one of them lives here. So I did get on I did what I would tell you to do. Get in the group for Black expats in Colombia. Tell people you're here. Introduce yourself and ask if anyone wants to go do anything. So I got in the group, introduced myself. I said, I want to go see the movie Sinners. This was months ago. I want to go see the movies, even though I'd already seen Sinners. I want to go see the movie Sinners. Here's a couple movie theaters that are close by. Does anyone want to join me? And a man was like, the first reply was from a man in the group who was like, go see Sing Sing. It's a much better movie. And I'm like, now this is why I do things only with women. Because who asked you? Who asked you? First of all, we're in Colombia, and I don't think Sing Sing was a big enough movie for it to be in theaters in Colombia. I don't think. I saw it on the internet. It's about the men in Osning prison having a theater group. I did see it. I saw it. I had already seen it. But who asked you? So then we, two women did reply, and they were like, let's go out to eat. I think they both had already seen the movie or something. I wanted to go see it again, but they were like, let's go out to eat. So I did go meet with two women in the group, which is what I would tell you to do. But then we get to the table and they're like, oh, I know her name. She was like, oh, I leave tomorrow. Like she was literally leaving the country the next day. She was just passing through. Cherry is now in Cali, the other woman I sat with and had dinner with. So I need to do more of that to get some expat friends, but local friends, I need to just start doing things out in the world. Once I have my cedula, Maybe I'll sign up for some sort of class. Oh, Spanish. No, Spanish class is not a way to meet local people, but a Spanish class is a way to meet locals. So I'll sign up for something. And then hopefully I can find a running club and make some local friends. I did meet a neighbor, my next door neighbor, my vecina. Vecina is a neighbor. Vecina is neighbor, I think, in Espanol. Yo hablo. But I don't know if we're gonna be friends. She was like, "Oh, interesting." She's when my landlady was like, "This is Stephanie. She's moving in." She was like, "Oh, interesting." So I don't know if she wants to be friends. I don't know. But maybe I'll make some friends in my building. I do have pots and pans, so maybe I could make something. I don't have any bakeware though. I have to get some bakeware and bake them something and introduce myself. Oh, this is another thing we should add to my list. I have a plan for good sheets and towels already. I'm going back to the United States for my dad's birthday, and I'm going to bring extra luggage back. And most of that is just going to be linens because I'm so sick of this hard stuff. It is not soft. It does not feel good. I went to the version of Sam's Club here. Price is Smart is owned by the not Sam Club. Price Smart. Price Smart is owned by the Costco people, I believe. We had it in Costa Rica too. I go to the Price Smart and they're like, sheets. You know how you can go to Costco and get sheets that you like, right? Sheets and towels and stuff that feel good. They have a good quality thing. I go to the Price Smart and they're like, sheets, 240 thread count. I'm like, I wouldn't even put that on the sign. Why are you putting 240 thread count on the sign? Nobody's buying these sheets because they're 240 thread count. They're buying the sheets because they're here, okay? So I bought one set of sheets, one mattress cover. I don't have my duvet yet. I don't have a duvet or duvet cover yet. And my plan is to get to the Los Estados Unidos as soon as possible. I'm going for my dad's birthday and coming back with a suitcase full of sheets and towels. You can buy towels in Bogota. You can buy hand towels in Bogota. You cannot buy washcloths in Bogota. The United States doesn't do anything better than any place in the world except for comfort. Our linens are superior. United States linens are top tier. And that is a thing that will have you missing home. My sheets, I miss my sheets. I had the Simply Vera Wang sheets from Kohl's, and they feel so good. They're not expensive sheets, but they feel really good. Simply Vera Wang, right? They're not high. These are not high end. I get them from Kohl's. I miss those sheets. I miss my towels. My towels were just towels from Target. I miss my towels. So I've bought maybe four. I think I bought 4 bath towels and 4 hand towels. And no washcloths. Well, so what you can do is the towels and hand towels that you find that are decent enough quality do not have washcloths. Okay. But you can buy one of those packs of generic rough washcloths. So I had to buy a pack of just the most generic rough white washcloths together. Those are the only washcloths I have found in all of Bogota. Now I haven't been to IKEA yet, but I don't expect IKEA's linens to be any better. So that linens are coming back with me. Okay. Linens, before I have a coffee maker or a microwave, which are 2 things that you would think I would rush to get. Before I get a coffee maker or a microwave, I will have linens from the United States because I'm not living like this. I'm not living like this. There is a market. I don't know how much more expensive could it be to import good linens compared to cheap linens. It can't be all that much more expensive. So there's got to be a market for the good. No, listen, they're awful. I've been in, yeah, even though I stayed at a Hilton brand hotel here, and I've stayed at a Residence Inn, Marriott brand hotel. They do not have good washcloths here. That's why I'm like, there's got to be a market for importing good linens. But if nobody's doing it, there's a reason. I just can't figure it out. I can't figure out the problem. What could be the problem? Yeah, girl, I'm gonna be exfoliated like a mug. I'm gonna be exfoliated like nobody's business. But I'm not gonna enjoy that shower. It's not gonna be like, oh, this feels like a spa. No, it does not. Or it's gonna feel like the kind of spa where they rub your skin off. I'll check out IKEA. I don't mean, hey K Stewart, I don't mean to say I don't know for sure that IKEA has good towels or bad towels. I just don't expect to find anything in IKEA that I haven't found in all these other stores. I've been to Falabella and Home Center. I've been to the stores. I don't expect IKEA is going to be an outlier. So they don't really do washcloths anyway. And then if you see them, listen, it's that pack. It's that, you know what I'm talking about. The generic pack of white, rough, ugly washcloths. That's the only washcloths I've seen. Welcome. Then there was Bim. Hi, welcome. Hi, Bim, welcome. Happy Saturday. So yeah. So I happen to have already known about traveling the world and places not having washcloths. So I have, on its last leg, I have a washcloth mitt type thing, and then just a regular washcloth. But my regular washcloth it's not even the best quality. So I have a little bit. I have my own, but then I bought the things. I bought the cheap set. There is Price Smart. Price Smart is owned by Costco, bought Price Smart. So there are some Costco brand items there, but not most. Most of them are local brands, or like South American and Central American brands. There is some, what is it called? Kirkland. I've seen a handful of Kirkland things, but the sheets and linens were not Kirkland brand. Costco has a really good reputation for sheets and linens, if you don't know, for linens, if you don't know, sheets and towels and stuff. And this one does not have that. Price Smart doesn't have that. Okay. It's not that Costco. It's Costco light, not on that regard. Yeah, so I'm done with Amazon. I don't know that Amazon in other parts of the world are profiting. I assume all Amazon profits Jeff Bezos. I don't spend money on Amazon. I don't buy from Amazon anymore. I'm done with it. No more Amazon. I saw a question I didn't start, and now I'm like, there was a question I meant to go back and answer. Brooklyn. Yeah. No, Leslie, Les in the Exodus ASAP coaching call just the other day was like, well, how do I get my stuff from Brooklyn? Yeah, I've never used, maybe I'll try that. One of my sets I'll get from Brooklyn, so I can compare the Brooklyn to the Simply Vera to the Costco. I'll do a little comparison for y'all. Maybe I'll do a comparison. RJ, hi, C's. I haven't seen any washcloths in Mexico. Yeah. Good luck. They're just not a thing in other places. I don't get it. Because, like, I don't know. Different strokes for different folks. I think so. I think Black people from the US and Caribbean, we corner the market on washcloths. If I go into an Airbnb, I don't expect to see, in almost any place in the world, unless it's owned by an American, I don't expect to see washcloths. They just don't do it. I don't know. But like, So much of Black American culture has been stolen by people all over the world. Why not the washcloth? Why not? They'll take our music. They'll take our language. They'll take our art. They'll take our hairstyles, but not washcloths. And then they'd be like, oh, you feel so good. Yes, I feel good. I scrub my body. Oh, your face looks so young. Yes, it looks young. I exfoliate my face. I use washcloths. You want to steal, they steal everything else. They take everything from us, but won't use a washcloth to save their life. You can go anywhere in the world and hear a Black woman's music, right? I don't care. It doesn't even have to be Rihanna and Beyonce. Any Black woman who's ever made a song, who's ever recorded a song, somewhere in the world, someone is playing it right now. They will still co-opt our arts and our music and our culture and our hairstyles and our language, but won't use a washcloth to save their lives. That's a pathology. That's a pathology. I don't understand that. I don't get it. And they'd be like, oh, your skin is so smooth. Yes, I bathe with a washcloth. There's got to be money. There's got to be money in importing this stuff. I don't understand why it hasn't happened yet, right? I can buy an Apple computer. I can buy a iMac, right? It's going to cost me about 40 to 50% more than it would cost in the United States. What's another American thing? Oh, I'll be eating American fast food. He's been making fun of me in the house because I'll eat American fast food. If it's late and I haven't figured out this food, solve the food problem yet, what am I going to eat for dinner is ruining my life. Okay. I hate asking this question, and you have to ask this question every day. If I haven't solved that problem, listen, McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, Pizza Hut, Subway, I've had them all since I've been in this house. I've only been in this house for 3 weeks, right? You can import anything. So I don't know what the linens thing is, because some of these people, like somebody from Colombia, has lived in the United States before. That's a joke, because a lot of people, almost everybody I run into, they're like, where are you from? And I'd be like, Los Estados Unidos. And they'd be like, no, but what part? And I'd be like, oh, Delaware. I'd be like, es un estado pequeño, like it's a small state on the East Coast. And they'd be like, yeah, I know Delaware. I used to live in New Jersey. Like every time. Yeah, I know Delaware. I went to school in New York City. Yeah, I know Delaware. I'm from Washington, D.C. I lived in, like, every person in Colombia has lived in the United States. So how do they not have better linens? How do you go from experiencing just the basics, just a Target brand, Martha Stewart brand, right? How do you go from experiencing that to this? And how's nobody solved this problem yet? Yes. So I did stay somewhere, and they had separate washcloths for makeup removal. And I was like, I'm 50 years old, and I never thought about buying Black washcloths specifically for makeup removal. Life change. Okay. My whole life has changed since I realized you could just buy Black washcloths for the makeup removal. Right? Because I had been using cotton balls, not cotton balls, cotton pads, cotton rounds, toilet paper if I don't have anything. Stupid. That's stupid. Because one time I used toilet paper to remove my makeup. I had used the oil makeup remover, that Neutrogena makeup remover, And I used a toilet paper, and I was in Costa Rica. Sometimes in Latin America, the toilet paper is heavily scented and dyed. And I just didn't think about it. Rub that toilet paper on my eyes, and my eyes, I had like a raccoon patch of the scaliest, grayest skin across my eyelids and across my bridge of my nose, just from here to here, like a gray, looking like a raccoon bandit, looking like Bandit the raccoon. Um, and I was like, I can't keep using these things. So now I'm back to, then I was like, well, I got to go back to just using a washcloth to remove my makeup. But then no, I don't mess up the washcloth. And then I went to a hotel and they were like, black washcloths for makeup removal. They had a little sign. And I was like, oh, duh. Duh. 50. I'm pretty sure that was just a few months ago. Just figuring this out. Okay. Thanks for solving this problem for me. Hey, D. D says Sam's Club and PDC in Playa del Carmen has the same good towels and washcloths as the US. Okay. Yeah, so we don't have Sam's Club here. And if we did, I don't know. They don't seem to care down here. I don't know. I don't even know if they would. I don't even know. Okay. And then crochet your own washcloths? I could do that. I think I could crochet a washcloth. I can't crochet anything that needs to be beautiful or have straight lines. But I think I could crochet a washcloth. What are we using for this? What kind of yarn? I guess cotton, 100% cotton. Oh, yeah, yeah. I've taken many a shower using a hand towel as a washcloth. Listen, it's got to be done. Where my mom? Were we in Morocco? We used the hand towels as washcloths the whole time we were in Morocco. I think that's where it was. We were like, girl, neither one of us got a washcloth. Oh well, these hand towels about to be soggy as heck. I feel like I didn't get to the final piece of the moving abroad at 50, and I need to close this out quickly. So let me go ahead and get to the final piece. Number 5 difference about moving abroad at 50. I'm assembling my care team here in Bogota, Colombia. I've already been to, oh no, I didn't. I was gonna say I've been to the dentist. I went to the dentist in Costa Rica. I haven't been to the dentist since I've been here. Assembling my care team, and for me, that includes a dermatologist to help me look younger. And the even bigger difference about that is that I don't care what you think of that. Okay. Being 50, being 40, I already didn't care about other people's opinions about what I do to me. And at 50, I absolutely don't care. I got the injections and Botox and stuff in January. And then I talked with a couple of different groups of women, and there was always somebody in there like, oh, you did what? And I'm like, girl, I'm looking at you. You have no gray hairs on your head. You have dyed your hair. You also appear to have veneers. I got these 2 front teeth are veneers, right? You also appear to have veneers. Where is the line for you? And why do you assume that I'm not allowed to have a line? Right? You're allowed to do things to look younger, but I'm not allowed to do things to look younger. Make it make sense. Don't judge. You can judge me if you want, but I'm not accepting your judgment. Okay? I don't accept your judgment. Right? I'm looking at you. You have no gray hairs on your head, and you've already told me you're older than I am. I know what 50 looks like. Okay? I know what 50 looks like in the hair region. Not one gray hair, right? Or you got veneers, or you got lash extensions. What are all the things we're doing? You got eyebrows drawn on, right? You've done all these things because you want to look the way you want to look. I'm allowed to look the way I want to look. Thank you. Thank you. So, Callie, nobody told me. As a person who already said, don't tell me what to do, I guess I can't get mad at people not having shared this thing with me. But also, somebody could have told me, Stephanie, buy you a set of black washcloths for makeup removal. Because I promise you, I was using cotton rounds, wasteful. I was using Kleenex, wasteful and unhelpful. I've used toilet paper, harmful, right? And then this little sign was like, use these black washcloths for makeup removal. Oh. what you do. I promise you. It was a revelation. It was a revelation. I still didn't buy any black washcloths. Right. Because the one mitt thing that I have is gray. So I have the gray one and then I have the white one that's not very good. Life changing. Okay, life changing. Yeah. So dermatologist, let me see. So these right here were gone for months, but they're back. And these lines, they were gone, but now they're back. So it's time for a re-up. She had told me it would be a year, and it's only been 6 months. And then, so I can squint again. She had Botoxed my brow, and I couldn't squint, but now I can squint again. It's all back. It's all back. And so what the Botox originally did was, so my face is falling, gravity, gravity. And I don't know how much you can see, but this line right here is a result of my brow falling down, right? My brow's falling, gravity. The Botox pulled these up just a little bit, right? Just a little bit to get rid of that. Frances showed some pictures of us in Morocco to a friend of hers. And this is my neutral face. This is not me frowning. This is my neutral face. And her friend was like, that woman is frowning at you and she don't like you. Look at her face. It was just some photos, some candid photos. She saw, it was a video. It wasn't a photo. It was a video. And I'm looking like this. And then I turn and see the camera and then I go like this, right? Because this is my on camera face. Pull the eyebrows up, not myself. I pull my own eyebrows up. And so the friend said to Frances, that lady don't like you. Look how she's frowning at you. And I was like, Frances, it's just my face, right? My eyebrows are falling. I have my neutral face now appears as though I'm frowning. And so Botox undid that for me for 6 months. And I'm gonna go back and do it again. I just haven't, I'm satisfied on, I'm working on moving into the apartment, and I can only focus on one thing at a time. So once I move in, I'm going back to the lady. And we're going to get rid of these lines. We're going to get rid of these jowls. And we're going to get rid of this frowny face. I'm going to be back up here. I'm going to be back up, right? You're not even going to know. You're not going to see the difference. I would have to tell you for you to know. But I'm going to look in the mirror and be like, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. And at 50, I sincerely, I don't care what you think of that. Because you've done something to look the way you want to look. And so will I. Was she jealous? I think she was looking out for Frances. I think if you saw a video of your friend and you noticed somebody's expression while they were looking at your friend, you might say something. But what she didn't know was that's just my face, right? It's just, I told, that's just my face. So, so I went back, I went to the lady. I felt like I got my money's worth. So I'm gonna do it again. How much? Oh, you know what? So for months and months, I kept that receipt in my purse. Let me do a video about it. I feel like I kept the receipt. I feel like I paid $1,200 for how many vials? She did I think it was 2 vials of Restylane, 2 vials of the filler, and a vial of Botox. Or maybe it was 2 plus 2 plus 1, right? 2 plus 2 plus 1, 5 vials of something. I feel like I paid $1,200. How is that? I didn't go to the lady who was, I went to the first place who showed up on the Google. I Googled Botox Bogota, and I went to the first lady who showed up in the results. So I can't say that I got a good price. I can't say that I got a good dermatologist. I can say that when I left the office, I was satisfied. And 2 weeks later, probably took me a good week or two before I was like, oh girl, I look good, right? I'm looking at myself in the mirror like I look good. I done rolled back the clock. Yeah, I appreciate that about being 50. I think 40 was good. 40 was also like, I don't care. I'm doing what I want. But we're just going to keep adding to it. Okay, we're going to keep going. She told me it was going to last for a year and it was only 6 months. I don't know what things would factor into that, right? Maybe having more body fat and fat in my face metabolize the stuff. I don't know. I will make up a scientific answer. I'm a house sitter, okay? I will make up a scientific answer. Maybe the body fat metabolized the Botox. She said a year and it was only 6 months. Difference. Yeah, that's significantly a different amount of time. But to me, it was worth. I'm gonna do it again. Don't worry, you ain't got to worry. I'm gonna do it again. All right, I need to get up out of here. Go pick up my sofa. Finish getting dressed. Finished getting dressed, and pick up my sofa. One syringe is $1,000 there. Oh, then I got a great deal. Oh, y'all come on to Bogota. I'll share my lady with you. I'm pretty sure it was 1,200 for 5 total vials of things. Plus, she threw in a little electrolysis because she kept telling me that it was going to work on my beard. It didn't. It didn't. The type that she did. Let's see. She did the laser and electrolysis are two different things. She did the plate, the laser thing. It didn't work. I'm gonna have to do actual electrolysis. Okay, friends. Thank you kindly for the super chat. I'm sorry that I hope you're still here. Hi, Danielle. Danielle is refreshing words. Hi, thank you very much for that super chat. And thank you, DT70, thank you, or 70. Thank you for that super chat. I hope you're both still here. I appreciate that. The super chat money goes into the Vicarian Sabbatical Fund. Yeah, so I got to go start being an apartment haver. Wait for the man to deliver my Facebook Marketplace sofa. The housekeeper is supposed to be there now, cleaning, doing the final deep cleaning. And then sofa gets delivered today. And then I shouldn't have anything else delivered until like the 4th or 5th, except maybe I'll have to go and get go there when the man comes to turn on the internet, to do the internet, whatever they do. Okay. So that's what I have to do for the day. And then I'll get the birthday party stuff set up. I know y'all are sick of me. Okay. I know y'all are sick of it, but it's going to be all right. Get the birthday party things figured out and send you the WhatsApp, make a WhatsApp. Okay. Anything else we need to clear up before we go? Thank you kindly for the congratulations. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to decorate my own space after all these years of staying in other people's Airbnbs and house sits and all of that. I'm very excited to be able to pick out all my own stuff. Like I said, I got my own dishes. I'm really excited about that. I hope I still like it once I'm in there and having to pay that rent every month. I hope I still like it, but I'm sure I will. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I ordered your bed. Your room won't be set up until after mine. My stuff comes first. But I did order 2 beds. I didn't tell y'all that because I didn't want to say it, but I did order 2 beds. It sounds ridiculous for a person who's by herself to order 2 beds immediately, but I did. My bed comes on the 4th or 5th, and then the other things come around July 22nd or something. So I got your bed will be there. You got bed and nightstands on the way. All right. So, I did because this is a place where I want people to be there with me. This is a co-living house, whether it's somebody coming to visit for a weekend or somebody who lives there for 6 months. This is a place where I want people there. And I thought that, ordering the bed was a way to signify that. Also, it was cute. And I was like, I want this one and this one. So let's just go ahead and order them both. I rushed mine, but not the others. I don't know anything about the pricing on anything else, right? But you can Google it. So Natasha Romantal does she does sessions on or her YouTube channel. She talks about medical tourism. So maybe ask her if she can find somebody. Okay, thank you. Angela says have as many beds as I like. Thank you. Yeah, I'm super excited. Okay, and I'm glad to be closing out 50 in this way, moving into 51. Things are great. I'm really happy. I'm happy to be here in this place, and I'm happy to be here in this feeling, right? Here in this energy, here in this mood, in this spirit. I feel good. Um, Years ago, I say this every birthday, but years ago, if you told me I would be turning whatever age and I would be, homeless and childless and partnerless and, petless, I would have been like, oh my gosh, my life must be terrible. End it all. Let's end it all. It is fantastic. It's fantastic. I'm feeling great. I'm glad to be here. We have a special guest next week, a special guest coming to do some things next week. But I'm feeling really good about all of it. I'm glad to be here. And I'm glad that you're here with me. Okay, friends, thank you kindly. I'll see you guys again very soon. Have a wonderful week. I'll keep you posted on my apartment and on Instagram or Snapchat. Maybe I'll share something. I got to learn how to use Snapchat. I asked y'all to come to Snapchat so we could be all there together, and then I don't know how to use it. So it'll probably be Instagram stories, frankly. Okay. Maybe on Instagram stories, I'll show you just a couple sneak peek of my empty apartment. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful day, friends. Thank you all. Oh, I've put some links in the description of this video. The Exodus ASAP community is doing the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge July 27th through August 1st. It's a 6-day challenge. If your move abroad money is dependent on your business working, right? Your coaching business, your freelance business, your consulting business. If you need that to be able to move abroad, to leave the United States, go ahead and join us in the Exodus ASAP membership at ExodusASAP.com. Because we're closing out July, not June. I know we're still in June, but we're closing out July with the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge. And before then, in the month of July is the Make Money month, right? Money making month. I don't know. We don't have a real name for money making. We'll call it Money Making Month. July is Money Making Month in Exodus ASAP. If the money is the main barrier between you leaving the US and not, join us in Exodus ASAP. Join us in the membership. It's Money Making Month. Okay. Between the coaching from me, from Rashida, from me and Rashida together, from our guest coaches, from the other women in the community who will be sharing, and through the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge, we can get you a plan to make the money to move abroad. So join us, ExodusASAP.com. Black women only. Okay. All right. Thanks, friends. Have a wonderful day. Okay. Thank you. Bye.